Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is IJEOMA Fab. So today we'll be recreating this TikTok inspired design using a joggers rope and a hot glue gum. So to recreate this outfit, I'm making use of this crepe fabric. This is 2.5 years, and this joggers rope. So this joggers rope is 11 years. So you can make use of more if you want. So now I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4. So if you want to make use of a longer length of up to 40 inches, you will need to get like 3 years. So this is 2.5 years. So now this is the open end of my fabric, and this is it. So folded into 4 this way, and this is the folded end of my fabric. Now the next thing I also went ahead to do is to make a line here, which is going to serve as a starting point or the shoulder line. Now you're going to go ahead now and mark where you want your sleeve to end. So you mark your shoulder length and also the sleeve length. Better still, you can place your tape at the nape of your neck and also stop at where you want your sleeve to end. So I'll be working with 17 inches. So I'm going to place my tape this way and mark 17 inches. So after marking 17 inches, I'm going to go ahead and mark the neck width I want to work with. So I'm going to be working with 3.5 inches for both the front and the back, and the neck depth I'll be working with for the back is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to connect this way. Now for the front neck depth, I'm going to work with 3 inches. So I found out that it was a bit choking. You can go ahead and work with 3.5 or 4 inches. So I'm connecting this way, and the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do at this point here, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Now after that, I'm going to connect the 1 inch, and at this 1 inch I'll be dropping down for my sleeve opening by 11 inches. So when you're doing this, you need to take into consideration your sleeve opening because you're going to be sewing the upper part and the lower part. Now I'm going to be marking from the shoulder to the hip depth. So this is 24 inches. I'll be doing the same thing at the other end just to get a straight line. Now I'm going to connect with my ruler. This is how it's going to look like. So on this side, I'm going to mark quarter of the hip circumference. So quarter of the hip circumference plus 3 inches. So whatever is your hip circumference, you're going to mark quarter plus 3 inches. So I'm going to add 1 inch to the 3 inches. So quarter of the hip circumference plus 4 inches. The 1 inch is going to be for my sewing allowance, and the 3 inches is for the ease. Now whatever I have there, I'm going to be repeating it at the hem. So I have 15.25. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and connect with a straight line. So I'm connecting like this, and I'm going to take it up also. So whatever I have there, I'll be taking it up also at the part where my sleeve opening ends. So I'll mark the same thing, connect with my ruler to get a straight line, and we're practically done. Now I'm going to connect to get our sleeve proper, and the next thing we're going to do now is to create a curve this way because we're not going to leave it straight like that. So now we're done drafting out our cut together gown. Now I'm going ahead to cut this out. So I forgot to add my 1/2 inch for my sewing allowance at the shoulder. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the back neckline first. So after cutting out the back neckline, I will take out the back piece and go ahead and cut out the front neckline. So for the front piece now, I'm going to step down because it's going to have an opening by 4 inches. So I'm stepping down now, and I will slit the 4 inches open. The next thing to do now is to cut the facing for both the front and the back panel. So now I'm tracing out the back panel, and after tracing, I'll go ahead and cut out the facing for the back. Now once I'm done, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the front panel. Trace out the front neckline, and after that I'll cut it out. So after cutting, I'm going to go ahead and attach my feasible interfacing on both the front and the back panel for stability. So after doing that, the next thing now is to bring your front panel. Now you're going to use your discretion and decide on what type of design you want on your fabric. So like I said, this is the first time I'm trying this out, so I didn't have any particular design. I was just going with the flow. So now after doing this, the next thing I'm going to go ahead now and do is to introduce my glue gum. So I'm going to use a hot glue gum to attach the joggers rope to the fabric. So now one thing you should note is while you're doing this, you would need to be extra careful and very patient because this is a process that takes time. This process takes a lot of time, so you need to be very patient while doing this. Then you also need to be careful because the glue gum, once you make any mistake, can mess up your fabric. So you need to be extra careful. So while doing this also, I'll also advise that after you're done attaching your joggers rope to your fabric, you can go ahead and go in with your needle and thread to secure the joggers rope to your fabric. So like I said initially, this is my first time I'm trying this out and I want to see how it looks like. The outcome was nice, but I still recommend that you use your needle and thread to go in to secure the joggers rope. So after attaching the joggers rope, this is how it looks like. So the outcome looks pretty good. Now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to turn the neckline for both the front and the back panel. So for the front panel, I've gone ahead to attach my visible interfacing because the stretchy fabric, and also for the facing, I've attached the visible interfacing on it. So I'm going to place it like this, right side facing each other. I'm going to sew, then I will notch and I will top stitch and iron. I'll repeat the same thing to the back panel. I'll close up the shoulder and also the side. So after closing up the shoulder and the side, this is how it looks like. So I think I like how it's coming out. So the next thing will be to finish the lower part of the gown. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. See you on my next video.